All right. Good evening. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. We're going to get started in about 1 more minute.
Hello.
Good evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name's Shannon Grigsby, and I'm an assistant principal at Clarksburg High School. And I'm here to introduce you to Sydney Montgomery. And she is going to share with you all things that you need to know about our dual enrollment program at Clarksburg.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shannon, for that. Mrs. Grigsby, for that. Can you see my screen, the dual enrollment information?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. If at any point in time you can't hear me or see the slides, please just stop me because I won't know otherwise. So my name is Sydney Montgomery. I am the dual enrollment program assistant here at Clarksburg High School. Today, we are going to be covering what dual enrollment is, what the different programs are, who can participate in dual enrollment, what the requirements are. I am also going to be walking you through the process for actually enrolling in dual enrollment and giving you some dates and timelines. There will be time for questions at the end. I do have the chat feature turned on. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and we will make sure that we cover them at the end. So I'm not ignoring your questions. I'm just simply saving them for the end so that we can make sure that we get through all of the presentation. But like I said, if at any point in time you can't see me or hear me, please just let me know. So let me just get rid of that and get rid of that. Great. So Clarksburg High School has one of the most robust dual enrollment programs in the county. We actually have the largest dual enrollment program. We are very proud of it. We're very proud to have this opportunity to give our students the ability to explore what Montgomery College has to offer while still enrolled at MCPS. What is dual enrollment? So dual enrollment allows highly advanced students to get accepted to Montgomery College and provide an educational experience beyond what is available at high school. They are able to take classes with college professors. They are actually able to learn what other regularly enrolled Montgomery College students are taking, and they're able to push the limits of their academic capabilities while also earning college credit. So like I said, there are many program benefits. In addition to actually experiencing a college course taught by outstanding professors, students are able to save money on college tuition because there is a discount on the Montgomery College courses that you take if you are an MCPS enrolled student. And you are able to accelerate your college completion because of those credits. And you may also have those credits transferred to another four-year school that you go to within the state of Maryland. If you are trying to go to school outside of the state of Maryland, some colleges will take college credit earned at Montgomery College and some colleges won't. So you will just need to check with the out-of-state school if you think that you're applying to out-of-state schools. But if you're applying to schools within Maryland, and especially, of course, the University of Maryland, all of those credits will absolutely transfer over. So there are a few different types of dual enrollment. There are dual enrollment that really focus on college and career credit. Those are the things that are going to give you those hands-on experiences, those college credits earlier. Those are individual courses that you're going to get that you can transfer over to college. And then there are diploma plus degree opportunities. These are specific programs, specific pathways that allow you to graduate with an associate degree, an associate in applied science degree, an associate in applied technology degree. Those diploma plus degree opportunities include the early college program and the Pathways and Network and Informational Technology, the PTech program, which is exclusively found at Clarksburg High School right here in this county. We are the only ones that have this PTech program. There is, of course, also the middle college program, but we do not offer that. That is offered at Northwood and Northwest High School. So today we're going to focus on taking individual college courses. We're going to touch on the early college program and the PTech program as well. And I'll also talk about ACES, which is not really a dual enrollment program, but offers support through Montgomery College. So who can participate in dual enrollment? I have made a nice little chart for you guys so that we can really break down and understand who can participate in dual enrollment. And actually, I want to stop really quick and I want to see if we can take a little poll because I just want to see who is in the room. So the poll is you can just put it in the chat actually. Hold on. I just got off of where I wanted to go. Let me go back here. Okay, you're just gonna put the poll in the chat. So just chat in with me. I wanna know what grade you're in. I wanna know if you're in the 9th grade listening. I wanna know if you're in the 10th grade. I wanna know if you're in the 11th grade. If you're in the 12th grade, I hope you're focused on graduation and not dual enrollment. But let me know in the chat what you represent. All right, awesome. I'm seeing a lot of 11th graders, I'm seeing some 10th graders here. So we can definitely talk about that. 10th graders, 12th grader, 10th graders. Awesome, guys, keep it coming. I love to see just like who's in the room so that I can know who I can talk to. I don't see any 9th graders. So that's good, actually. But if you are in the 9th grade and you're here, or if you're a younger sibling and you're here, I'll make sure to touch on some things as well. Okay, so who can take dual enrollment? If the only way that you can take dual enrollment classes in Montgomery College as a 9th and 10th grade student is if you are in the PTech program. And to be in the PTech program, you actually had to apply in the 8th grade. So I didn't see anyone say that they were in the 8th grade, but if you were in the 8th grade, that application I think already happened. And then you will be able to do the PTech program for your 9th through 12th grade years. So that's, again, the only way that if you're in the 9th grade, you can take Montgomery College courses is if you are in the PTech program. Now, how do you take Montgomery College courses in the 11th grade, you may be asking, because I saw that there were some 10th graders here. You can take it in kind of 2 different ways. Well, one, of course, if you're in the PTech program, you're going to be taking Montgomery College courses all 4 years. Great. But if you are not in the PTech program, you have the opportunity in the 10th grade to apply to the early college program. So that actually application happens in the fall. So that usually is due around November, and you would apply in the fall to join the early college program. The early college program means that you're taking Montgomery College classes your 11th grade and your 12th grade years. What if you didn't apply to the early college program, right? I know some of you are in 10th grade now and it's already the spring. So if you didn't apply to the early college program, you might be asking, well, what do I do? Most students take dual enrollment their 12th grade year because we really want you to focus your junior year on courses, your core Clarksburg High School classes, your AP classes, your honors classes. We want it to be a really strong year for you academically. But if you are interested in the biotechnology pathway, that is an option for you to take Montgomery College classes your 11th grade year if you're not in PTech and you're not in early college. And we're going to talk about what that biotech pathway is. But for most students listening on the call, especially if you're in the 11th grade, you're trying to figure out how you can add Montgomery College courses to your 12th grade schedule. And that is really what we're going to focus on today, because in 12th grade, you can just take individual college courses for credit as you are interested in them. And you do need a minimum GPA of 2.75. Okay, so as I mentioned, the PTech program, you apply in the 8th grade. It allows you to get an Associate of Applied Science degree from Montgomery College for free. Students will build technical skills and expertise while completing the microcomputer, networking, and security program courses. They apply these skills in projects and certification exams, as well as internship experiences. Students participate in summer bridge programs and all activities of the network operation courses at Clarksburg, including student computer refurbishment, business, and sales. That is a program that is really for students that are ready to work as soon as they are done with PTech, because they'll have the Associate in Applied Science and they'll be ready to go right into the field. Like, as you can see, the degrees are intended for those seeking immediate employment, but they may be able to transfer credits to a four-year institution. The early college program is something that you apply to in the 10th grade. It allows students from all high schools to complete their high school graduation requirements on the MC campus while also earning one of the specific degree options available. The application process occurs in the fall of your 10th grade year. So you complete your 9th and 10th grade year at MCPS, and then your 11th and 12th grade year you do completely at Montgomery College. So all of your 11th and 12th grade coursework is at Montgomery College. Your MC coursework will appear both on your MCPS transcript and it will appear on your permanent college record, right? Your permanent college transcript. That degree earned will transfer to a four-year institution within the state of Maryland and provide opportunities to support students building like a workforce, okay? This is a good pathway from MCPS to MC to a bachelor's degree and then into the workforce. So you can see there's a few different early college degree programs at the Germantown campus. You can get an Associates of Science in Biological Science and an Associates of Arts in Business, the several Associate of Arts, and then you'll see the Associate in Applied Science and the Associate in Applied Teaching. So the difference between the AAS, AAT degrees and the AA and AS degrees is that Associate in Arts and Associate in Science, those will go straight into a Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science at any four-year school. The Applied Associate of Science and Applied Associate in Teaching degrees are supposed to be standalone degrees where you don't necessarily need to continue on to more schooling before entering the workforce. In early college program, students pay for college fees or approximately $2,700 for the two-year MC degree. So it's significantly lower than you would pay for a two-year associate's degree outside of the early college program, because MCPS and MC cover the cost of tuition and textbooks. And then for students who are eligible for MCPS financial assistance, MCPS will also cover their college fees at zero cost. Now, what is the ACES program? The ACES program is not quite a dual enrollment program, but it is associated with Montgomery College, and it helps you go on the pathway, right? You get your high school diploma, you apply, and you get individualized coaching that continues throughout the entire pathway. You get assistance with the college application process, the financial aid process. You get transition support. Then you get your associate degree at Montgomery College, and then you get help transferring to the universities at Shady Grove, where you will finish your bachelor's degree. And then they will also give you career readiness and guidance and networking opportunities for your future career success. And then lastly, of the big programs that I'm talking about, there's the pathway in biotechnology. This pathway begins in the 11th grade. And I know that this is kind of a little difficult to see, but your 9th and 10th grade years will be traditional at Clarksburg High School. You'll take, English, math, science, social studies. your PE and health, foreign language, all the things that you normally would take. However, if you are a student that says, I really want this applied associates of science in biotechnology, then your 11th grade year, you would take English 101 and English 102. You would also take Math 117 or higher, which means that you do need to place into that math class. You would take a full year of science. You would also then take Chem 131 on top of that. You would take your normal social studies and your normal foreign language, but you would also take the MC biotechnology. So you're taking 2 MC courses in the fall and 3 MC courses in the spring. And then your 12th grade year, you would only take Montgomery College courses. You would take actually you would really take 4 classes every semester. So you would take biology 150 and chem 150. For science, you would then take an MC arts or humanities distribution and then the biotech in the fall. And then you would take biology 222, a behavioral and social sciences distribution, and then bio 200 and bio 210, biotech 200 and biotech 210 in semester 2. So that is a pretty rigorous schedule. It is a full college load. If you are a normal college freshman, you're probably taking 4 or 5 classes a semester, and that's exactly what this is. You're taking 4 college classes per semester. So this is really for students that, one, are very sure that they want to go into biotechnology, and we'll go over what that career path looks like. It's very specific. It's not for someone that thinks they want to be a doctor or a physician's assistant or get a PhD or work in a lab. Like, this is not what that is. So we'll talk about the specific careers that the biotechnology pathway is for. And it's also for a student that's ready academically to take only college classes their senior year and to take a pretty heavy college curriculum their junior year as well on top of their Clarksburg classes. So it helps you earn a minimum of 30 college credits towards your Applied Associate of Science degree in biotechnology. It prepares you to be an entry-level worker in the field of biotech. So that's lab work such as, DNA isolation and sequencing, cell culture, toxicology, or vaccine sterility testing, antibody production and isolation, and the testing and development of diagnostic and therapeutic agents. So it's really the people behind the scenes, the people in the labs, the people doing, all of the work before you get to the patient results and all that good stuff. So if that is something that you want to do, that you love lab work, that you want to be doing kind of that back end work, and you think that you're prepared enough to take the 30 credits that you need, which is a huge amount of credits in high school, and really do the work, this would allow you to take this and then graduate and then go right into the workforce without having to do additional college. So I've told you about the 2 different programs. And like I said, I will answer questions at the end, but I want to talk to you about earning the dual degree, right? How do you do that? So you do that by successfully completing your college courses. You have a choice. You can choose when you take a class at MC that you only want the college credit, or you can choose that you want both the high school and the college credit. And this is something you have to talk to your counselor about because it depends on what you need for graduation. If you need English, for example, you can't refuse the English credit at high school because then you won't graduate high school, and that will be sad. And we all want you to graduate. So you need to talk to see if this is a credit I need. Do I want both high school and college credit, or do I only want college credit? If you take a class at MC, the grade that you get will stay on your permanent college transcript. So if you don't do well, if you fail or you drop or withdraw, all of that will stay with you when you go to college. And this is just saying, that every class that you take will count as dual credit, which means that the grade will appear on both your high school and your college transcript unless you opt to only have it appear on your college transcript. Your grades cannot be changed or declined after the fact. You can't get a D in a Montgomery College course and then say, you know what, it's okay, I don't really want it anymore. Like you have it, it's yours. Also, if you drop a class after the drop deadline or withdraw, that withdrawal will stay on your transcript as well. And this is important because in order to get federal financial aid for college, you do need to have a certain high school and college GPA. And so if you end up failing too many classes repeatedly, that can jeopardize your ability to qualify for federal aid for the FAFSA and that sort of stuff for college. So you do want to take it seriously. I'm not saying it to scare you, but I want you to know that it's serious. And I think sometimes students don't realize that. And they just want it to kind of go away, and it doesn't really go away. It does stay with you. Attendance in college classes is mandatory. So that's the other thing, right? If you miss because you're not feeling well, or even if you have like a PSAT or an SAT during the school day, you still need to contact your professor ahead of time, even if it's online class. Just because you have an attendance note from Clarksburg does not mean that your professor knows. Actually, they don't know anything that happens if you do attendance over here at Clarksburg. So when you are taking a dual enrollment class, you have two different people to notify. If you're going to be late or you're going to not feel well and not go to the class, you have to let your professor know. If you don't attend a certain number of classes, and specifically if you don't attend the first class, you will be dropped from that class. And if you don't attend a certain number of classes, they will drop you from the class without a refund so that you don't end up failing. For every single Montgomery College course, there is a drop date with a refund. There is a date that it says if you drop before this, you will get a refund. And every year, every semester, I have people who want to drop after that, and I have to tell them you can drop, but you're not getting a refund. So that date is really close to the start of school. It's like 6 days from the start that that class, the day that that class starts. So you want to really make sure that it's something that you want to do, and it's something that you're prepared to do, and you're prepared for the workload, and you figured out how it's going to fit in with your other classes and maybe your work or your extracurricular activities. After the refund date, you can drop, but you won't receive a refund. You have between that date and the W date, the withdraw date, because if you drop before the withdraw date, like I said, it doesn't show up on your transcript, but you don't get a refund. If you drop after the withdraw date, it will show up on your transcript as withdrawn. So schools will know that you took it and then withdrew, which is okay, but you just want to minimize how much you're doing that. Because again, if you do too many withdrawals, it can actually affect your federal financial aid for college. After the withdraw date, you are getting whatever grade you're getting. So if you fail the class or you drop after withdrawal date, you are getting an F on your permanent transcript. Now, hopefully I haven't deterred you, because there are so many good benefits to dual enrollment. And like I said, we have one of the largest dual enrollment programs in the county. I love working with dual enrollment students. So I do hope that you will just take all of those and be mindful and thoughtful and talk with your parents. But then if you do decide to do dual enrollment, we're going to dive into eligibility and how you actually get started. So to take individual college courses, it's open to all 12th grade students. At Clarksburg, you must be at least 16 years old. The biotech program is open to juniors. Other than that, you're looking at the PTech and early college program, which have their own applications. Like I said, the PTech program, you apply in the 8th grade. The early college program, you apply in the fall of your 10th grade. Your parental consent is required. You have to have that minimum GPA of 2.75. Right now, because of COVID, the AccuPlacer is still on hold. So in lieu of that, there is a remote math placement test, and there's currently no English test. The only thing that you can do is if you have a certain SAT score, if you have taken the SATs, or a certain AP score on AP language, that can place you into a higher English class. Otherwise, most students will start with English 101/011, which is the English with support. That math placement test has two parts. You must take both parts and email both Ms. Johnson, who is the academic coordinator for Clarksburg High School at Montgomery College, and myself, your scores from your Montgomery College email, which we'll go over, in order to place into those courses. There is information on prerequisites on the MCPS classroom for dual enrollment. And if you're not part of the MCPS classroom for dual enrollment, I hope that you will join because that's where I post announcements. I try to post announcements hopefully every week. I also have the link to schedule Zoom office hours with me as well. If you've earned a B or better in AP Language and Composition or Modern World History, this will qualify you to take English 101A, which can count for English 12 in high school, or most introductory psychology, sociology, human communications, or history courses. If you earned a B in Algebra 2, they were saying that could qualify you for Math 110 or Math 117. However, right now they're still wanting everyone to take the math placement test. So how many dual enrollment courses should you take? Unless you're in a special program like PTech, early college, or that biotech pathway that really lays out how many classes you have to take and that you're really taking a full Montgomery College workload junior and senior year, we suggest taking no more than 2 Montgomery College courses per semester. This is because Montgomery College courses are rigorous. They are college level courses. The professors teach very differently. More importantly, they grade differently. And so it can really come as a shock to students if they think, oh my gosh, I think I have an A, and then they find out they have a C because the professor didn't put in the grades until the end. It's not like high school where professors have to update the grades all the time. They just have to put in the grade at the end. So it's really up to the students to make sure that they know what their place is in that class. And because grades stay on your permanent transcript, we like to say that 2 is a good number for seniors to take. Alongside their other courses. For rising seniors thinking about taking an MC course over the summer, we strongly recommend no more than 1 MC course per accelerated summer session. So the summer is broken into 2 sessions, summer 1 and summer 2. They are even faster than the fall semester or spring semester of Montgomery College. So we really don't recommend taking more than 1. And we really do recommend taking your dual enrollment classes during the school year because it's still accelerated, but it's a little bit of an easier transition from the high school pace to the college pace. The summer pace is very quick. Okay, so now we're going to talk about enrolling in dual enrollment, right? And how you do that. So I'm going to walk you through this. Step 1 is to apply to Montgomery College. Really, step 1 is to join the dual enrollment MCPS classroom. That way that you can hear from me and we can get to know each other and I can help you, and to talk to your counselor also to let them know that you're thinking about dual enrollment. But let's say you've done all of that, then step 1 is to apply to MC. So I've given you some really cool screenshots here, right? So you're going to start at the dual enrollment admissions and registration page. You'll find that by going to home, high school students, dual enrollment, admissions and registration. There, you're going to select your status. You are currently an MCPS student. You are going to follow the instructions to submit the application to Montgomery College. Please note that all students have to also enroll in dualenroll.com, which we'll talk about. Dual Enrollment Office handles all of the Montgomery College application procedures. So they don't just let you enroll like you would if you were just a student at Montgomery College. It is a separate pathway. So you will use the online admission application system. You'll click apply now. If you are taking, let's say you've already done this, you've already applied to Montgomery College and you already have your M number, you can skip this step. But if it's your first time, you're going to click that link. You're going to find the red Apply Online Now button. It is going to take you to a web application login where you are going to create a login ID and create a PIN. So that PIN can be any 6 numbers, right? And then you just want to create that, and then it'll take you back to the login page. And so then you'll just be able to proceed there. When you get to the first login screen, you're going to want to click first time user account creation. And that's how you get to this page to create a login ID and a PIN. Your application type is dual enrollment, and students ask me this often. You can apply under general studies. It really doesn't matter for dual enrollment what you say your program of studies is, but general studies is fine. I know there's a few different general studies. You can just choose whichever one you want. After you successfully apply to Montgomery College, you will receive your M number within 1 week so that you can complete the rest of your dual enrollment steps. You will also receive a copy of your M number in the mail. Because this part does take a little bit, that's why I highly suggest that students start early before even the registration to classes begins so that we can get all of this preliminary stuff taken care of. So then you're going to create a dualenroll.com account. You're going to create it using the M number that you received. And you are going to go to montgomerycollege.dualenroll.com/login, and it is going to take you to this page. You are going to say, create my account if it's new. And if you've already done this before and you're a pro, you're going to just log into your existing dual enroll account. When you're a new student, though, it will take you to the new student registration. It's going to ask you some basic information about your school, your name, your date of birth, all that good stuff. You want to put your cell phone number in to receive text messages because that is the easiest way and the best way to confirm your account and to stay up to date with anything that Dual Enroll needs from you. Once you click register, you'll get a text message with an activation code or an email with a link to confirm your account. You will have to confirm your account in order to proceed, so please make sure to check your spam and your junk mail if you're not seeing that email to create your account. Then you're going to go through a 4-step pre-enrollment process with the dual enrollment. Step 1 is to enter your M number. Step 2 is to accept all the terms and program expectations, the financial responsibility, and the information about educational records. Step 3 is the parent guardian consent. I highly, highly recommend clicking email a link to consent electronically with the email of your parents, and then make sure that you put it in correctly, and then make sure that it didn't go to your parents' spam inbox. And then once your parents can digitally sign the account, we'll have your parental consent. The other way is that you can print the form, and then you can have your parents fill it out and re-upload it. But it's actually just so much easier if you do the electronic consent form to your parents' email. Step 4 is to select your high school counselor. Now, your high school should already be filled in from your first step, but you will pick your counselor. Make sure that you're choosing the right counselor because your counselor will have to approve you in dual enrollment. If you pick the wrong counselor, it's going to slow down that process. So then you are going to claim your MC ID. You're going to go to Montgomery College. You're going to click Access My MC ID. You're going to click Find Your My MC ID. It'll ask you for your M number and your date of birth, and then it will give you your MC ID. Write it down and save it in your phone so you don't lose it. Once you have that, you're going to click Claim Your Account. You're going to enter your MC ID and your M number, and then you are going to be able to get access to your MC account. If you have trouble here, it's because you did not claim your account within a certain amount of time from applying to MC. So you will need to contact the help desk and let them know that you need help claiming your account. I cannot help you claim your account, but I can help you contact the help desk so that you can claim your account. Like I said, after you claim your account, you'll have access to your schedule, your bills. This is how you pay your bills. I get a lot of questions about how we can pay right here. You don't really need a parking permit in COVID. Your email, this is how you can request transcripts when the time comes to, and access your online orientation, which is very important. You'll want to activate your MC email in step 1 right there. And that is really important because your MC email is what you need to send your placement test scores from when you take them. To activate your email, once you click activate your email, you're going to click the email at the top. Your password is the same password you use to log into this account. And then you will choose your time zone, and then you'll be able to access your email. You want to check your MC email daily because if you are put on the wait list for a class, if you register and it's full and you put on the wait list, they are going to email your MC email address the instructions to get off the wait list. They are not going to email your MCPS address. And if you don't respond to the MC email address, you might miss out on a waitlist class. So you want to make sure that if you have to put a reminder on your phone that says 5 p.m., check my MC email, you want to do that. That's also where your professors will be contacting you. All right, so you've done all of that. You've registered with Dual Enroll. You've claimed your MC ID. You've activated your email, you are going to now complete the placement tests, right? The assessment test and the placement exemption. So that's what we were talking about before with the remote math placement test. Then you are going to watch the orientation video. It is important that you do the placement test before the orientation video. The orientation will help you understand how to view and use the real-time schedule of classes when selecting your courses. You should look at the real-time schedule of classes and not just the course list at Dual Enroll. That schedule of classes can be found if you just Google Montgomery College. You go to their website, you click View Class Schedule, you'll be able to see it, and I'll show you here. The orientation will take about 30 minutes, and it will also include information about your placement assessments, which is why you want to do your placement assessments first and then do the orientation video. As mentioned, the orientation will let you know how to select your courses. On Dual Enroll, you will have to upload proof of your orientation. A lot of students get stuck here. You will want to upload proof. It's usually like a PDF of your orientation. That way Dual Enroll knows that you took the orientation. You cannot get registered without that step. So you have done all of that. It's now time to view the semester courses, and you guys can actually view the fall courses right now. They're available for viewing. So you go to Montgomery College at the top, apply and register, search the class schedule. Then you want to click on the appropriate semester tab, whether that's fall 2021 or summer 2021. And then when things are in person in the campus, you want to take classes at, but in the fall, actually all MC classes will still be remote for dual enrollment. So you don't have to worry about that. Actually, the only time you do have to worry about that is if you're taking a class with a lab like biology, the lab portion will be in person. They let us know that. So you don't want to choose a class with the lab is like in, Tacoma Park, because that's a drive. You would rather do that at the Germantown campus. There is a difference between distance learning and remote learning. Remote structured learning still happens at a specific time, like 1 to 3, and it's just online. Distance learning means that there's no structured time. You're just expected to read the materials and kind of do the coursework. It can be a little bit more challenging for students. But you'll see you'll be able to view the course selection, select the campuses, and then you'll be able to see all the classes available. Classes are divided by category. So click on a category to see the list of classes that you want. Underneath each class name, you can find the description of the class, and you can see the assessment levels and the prerequisites. So you will see, the class, and it'll have the CRN number, which is the course number, the time, the start dates. You want to make sure that it says that there are seats available. If you want to choose a class and the seats available is 0, or if you see that there's anyone on the wait list, that means that class is full. You cannot request that class. You can only request classes that are available. Here is an example of what the prerequisites look like. Let's say we clicked into that class. You'll see a description of the class, and then you will see that it says prerequisites, right? A grade of C or better in Math 165, appropriate score on the math assessment test, or consent of department. So you either needed to have placed into this with the math assessment test, or you needed to have taken Math 165 and gotten a C or higher. So that's how you know if you have the prerequisites necessary for a certain class. Make sure that the courses that you're looking at are on the pre-approved MCPS list, and I have this link also on the Dual Enrollment Classroom. You can only take classes on the pre-approved list, otherwise you will not get dual credit for them. You will not get the MCPS discount for the courses, and we really just don't recommend it. The MC courses are pre-approved for specific high school credit. So even if it says a psychology or it says something else, it might give you an English credit or it might give you an elective credit. Not all English classes at Montgomery College actually give you English credit. Some of them give you an elective credit. So you want to check with your counselor and with that list. The list of approved courses and the high school credit can be found on the MCPS Dual Enrollment website. Each class that you take, like if you take a 3 or 4 credit class in the fall, that counts as one whole high school credit. So if you take math in the fall, that would be your math credit for the whole year. So it's also important to understand that. Students also ask me if they can take classes on not on the approved list, and the answer is really like no, because like I said, you won't get dual credit for the class, you won't get any discount, the MCPS discount, and we don't recommend it because they don't make the approved class list for a reason, and we want you to be successful. Step 8 is to complete the course selection Google form that is on my dual enrollment MCPS classroom. You must give me a credit refusal form for every class that you're taking. So if you are registering all at once for the 2 classes that you want, you can put both um, classes on one form. But if you are kind of registering and then like a couple weeks later you decide you want to do another one, I will need a new credit refusal form. If you are refusing the credit, you only want college credit, then your parents must sign it, I must sign it, your counselor must sign it, and the principal must sign it. If you are saying that you just want to get both the high school and the college credit, you only need to initial at the bottom. Like I said, in Maryland, all state schools will give you college credit for courses, even if you received high school credit for them. There are some schools, some colleges that will only give you college credit if you did not also receive high school credit. So that's kind of the reason why sometimes students want to refuse credit. This form is due at the time of registration, and you can't change your mind later about it. So that is what I said there. All right, so you have done all of that. You're requesting your courses on dual enrollment. You'll see the courses that you can request there. Like I said, you want to be checking the real-time schedule, but then requesting it in dual enroll. You cannot register yourself directly from the MC website. You have to go through dual enroll. Otherwise, you will see an error that says you have holds on your account, underage holds. That's because you did not go through dual enrollment. So you'll be able to see that you'll be able to look at the requested class. You'll be able to click request class, and then you will come here. This is the screen that will show when your request is complete. You've completed your registration request. You'll be notified if you need to complete additional steps. Please make sure that you have your notifications for both text and email, because if you get stuck at a step, it slows the process down and sometimes the classes can get full. So like I said, dual enroll will tell you the steps that you need to take as a student. So here you can see that this student needs to provide their high school courses. They need to upload proof of orientation. The parent needs to provide consent, and I need to upload the transcript as the DEPA. So all of those things must be done before it gets sent to Montgomery College. When it says student provide high school courses, this is where you will list your courses. If you're taking courses at MC over the summer, you will just write none, but you cannot skip this step. Once the step is complete, it will say complete in the status column. You see student provide high school courses, complete. That's how you know that you've done it. If it's still over here in yellow, you have not done it. Like I said, you'll need to upload proof of your orientation. So it will ask you that you can either choose the file. You say, I have already completed it, and you have documentation to the college. I've completed orientation now, and you're uploading it. Regardless, you should upload the PDF that has your orientation on it, and then click complete step, and it will also move to the complete column. Whenever you see something that says someone else, right, if the principal or the academic coordinator, those will be over here. You will have the opportunity to abandon. Basically, that means change your mind about a course you no longer want to take it by clicking the abandon button anytime before it goes to the academic coordinator. Once all the steps are complete, then you will see that your request is ready to be processed by the academic coordinator at Montgomery College. You'll see here that the abandon step is no longer here because it's already been sent to the academic coordinator to process. Doesn't mean that you cannot drop your course. Like we mentioned, you can drop anytime before the drop deadline, but then you'll have to drop the course instead of just abandoning your request. You will have to also request to drop the course in dual enrollment. This is what you'll see if the class is full and you have been placed on a wait list. It will instead say process waitlist registration. If the academic coordinator cannot process the registration, you will need to choose a new section. So she will shoot it back to you. If you have your notifications set to text and email, and if you take nothing else from today, just know that text notifications are your best friend. And they are the way that you always get all of your dual enrollment steps completed on time. So if you have your text notifications on, then you will see that she has pushed it back to you that you must select an alternative class section because that one is full. You will then go back to that real-time schedule that we talked about, and you will choose another class that does not have anybody in the wait list and has available seats. Here, like I said, you'll be directed to that list, but like you're going to check the real-time course catalog before you choose a different section because some of these might also be full. So you want to check that real-time schedule, then come back over here, choose the right one that's open, and then we can continue to process your request. If you're like, you know what, that was really the only course section that I wanted to take, I don't want to take this class anymore, then you can choose this button. This course no longer works with my schedule. Please cancel this registration request. When all of your steps are complete and you're in a class that has space, the academic coordinator has approved your registration. The status will say complete, and you will receive a text if you have your text notifications on, or an email confirmation. After all of the steps are complete, like I said, you will be notified by MC. You will also be notified by email to your MC email with an acceptance letter, a class schedule, and most importantly, a bill. And this is how you pay your bill. So let's talk about payment. You will need to pay all of the MC tuition and fees in accordance with the deadline. There are grants available to families that are on free and reduced lunch. If you have questions about your payment or your bill, you need to contact the Dual Enrollment main office. The cost for one 3-credit MC class is approximately $377 plus book fees. Most high school students, like I said, take up to 2 classes each semester, and you have to be enrolled in a minimum of 4 classes for both college and high school. But remember that your discount rate only applies to the first 4 classes that you've taken MC. So if you are a senior and you take 2 classes in the fall and 2 classes in the spring, you'll get your discount for all 4 classes. But if you're trying to take more, or you're trying to take some over the summer, that sort of thing, you don't get more than 4 classes discounted. Grants are available for households through application and proof of income less than $100,000. So students are responsible for tuition and fees, the MCPS fees, and any textbooks that they need. High school students do not receive FAFSA or federal aid for these classes, but they may be eligible for need-based assistance to cover all or part of their costs, like through the MC High School grant. And this is just a breakdown of the typical classes and how much everything costs. And you can compare it to how much it would cost if you were not doing dual enrollment. You would save a lot of money. If you need to apply for a grant, it's really important that you do not pay your bill before you hear back from the grant office because they will not reimburse you for tuition. So let's talk about registration timelines. If you're thinking about taking classes this summer, registration is currently underway. Classes are already starting to fill up, so you do want to begin that process as soon as possible, which starts with applying to MC, getting your M number, taking your placement test, claiming your MC account, and watching your orientation and doing all the steps on Dual Enroll. For the fall semester, course registration begins May 3rd. So all of you on this call who are thinking about applying for courses in the fall, you are safe. You have not missed anything. You are not behind. You are actually early because course registration hasn't even begun yet. So that means you can take this time to apply to MC, get your M number, do the orientation, take your placement test, and start all of those processes in Dual Enroll up to the point of selecting your courses. And then on May 3rd, when registration opens, You can be the early bird who gets the worm. You can request your classes on that day, and we can move you through the system. You will fill out your credit refusal form. You'll give that to me in a timely manner. You'll make sure that your counselor knows, and we can get you registered so that you get your first choice pick in classes. That's what I want for you. So hopefully you guys are able to kind of think through, how can I begin this process this week, this weekend, so that I can be ready on May 3rd. June 2nd is the absolute last day to register with me at Clarksburg High School for the fall semester. Somebody needs to put it on a post-it note, right? June 2nd. I will not take registrations for the fall semester after June 2nd. So if you're on this call and you're thinking about applying, and even though they open May 3rd, and that's definitely when you should apply and register. But if you wait and wait and wait and wait, and it starts getting closer to June, just remember that after June 2nd, we will not take any more registrations for the fall semester. Okay, and now is the time that everyone has been waiting for. Questions. I know I have a lot of questions in the chat. I do have office hours that you can visit me in the My MCPS classroom. I'm also always available via email. So definitely make sure that you reach out. But I have so many questions.
Montgomery, I know where they started if you wanted to. And Mr. Owusu joined us as well. So
yes, awesome. That'd be great.
All right.
A lot of information, so thank you.
You're welcome.
All right,
and this recording will be available. I just want to remind everyone, the recording will be available. The slides will be available if you like to read things. And be on the lookout for new Dual Enrollment YouTube channel where you can watch short videos that walk you through the process.
I put the short URL for your Dual Enrollment Canvas page in the chat too.
Thank you.
All right, our first question, will you go over engineering programs?
I'm not quite sure I understand. So in terms of dual enrollment programs, like actual programs, we have the PTech program, which is the information technology program, the early college program, which is not tied to any specific program of study, and the biotechnology program, which is not engineering. There isn't an engineering pathway or program. If you were interested in taking some engineering classes at Montgomery College and you were able to place into that, that's something that we look at your 12th grade year.
Next question, what is the benefit of dual enrollment for a senior? And same student with the same question, why not just take college courses?
Why not just take college courses?
Right, so I think there's some confusion that they are college courses.
Okay, yeah, so the benefit of dual enrollment for your 12th grade year is that you would be taking college courses alongside your Clarksburg High School courses. You can't do dual enrollment after you graduate, so you can't do dual enrollment over the summer after you graduate, for example, because you're no longer enrolled in MCPS, you have graduated. So let me know if that doesn't answer your question though, and we'll dive into it a little more.
And Ms. Montgomery, you did just go over the benefits as far as finances,
yes,
benefits as far as earning both high school and college credits at the same time.
Experiencing college professors, getting maybe Montgomery College offers some classes that Clarksburg doesn't offer, some like cool electives. Women's study is like my personal favorite because it's just very cool. So there are definitely some benefits to taking dual enrollment if you're a senior, and it can give you a taste of what college will be like so that you're even more prepared when you go to college in the fall.
When do you need to take the SAT if applying for fall?
So you don't have to take the SAT right now because of COVID. There are alternative methods to placing into classes, but the absolute deadline, like I said, to register for fall classes is June 2nd. So if you want your SAT score to get you into certain classes, I would need your SAT score, the official SAT score report from the College Board. Before then, you would need to email that both to me and Miss Yolanda Johnson at Montgomery College. From your MC email address, we would need that official score report.
You just take one college class.
Absolutely. I think one is a fantastic idea.
We have lots of questions about the presentation. I don't know if you wanted to provide additional information of how you plan to chunk the presentation.
Yeah, so I will probably chunk it in terms of an overview of the different kinds of programs will be like one video. And then I will probably do a walkthrough of that kind of main last chunk. I will probably do a walkthrough of what it looks like to apply to MC chunk. And then a walkthrough of the dual enrollment program website chunk. And then I'll show you how you can, I'll do some screen sharing and I'll show you how you can search schedules on the real-time schedule and check for the prerequisites and that sort of thing. There's some things I'm not able to do beyond what the slides are, like getting into your MyMC account and that sort of thing, but I will chunk it out that way for you guys.
Is there ever a case where a senior would take all MC classes for their senior year?
Only if they're in a special program like the early college program, PTech, or the Biotechnology Pathway. Otherwise, no.
If I'm a senior and I want to take a non-approved class and pay for it, can I do that?
I can't physically stop you from doing that. You won't get dual enrollment credit, so it won't show up on your MCPS transcript. You will still need to take the classes that you need to take senior year at Clarksburg. But if you want to pay out of pocket to take a class, you still have to register through the dual enrollment program. You still can't just register yourself, even though you won't get dual enrollment credit. But we really don't recommend that. And I would really want to have a conversation with you and maybe your parents about what it is that you want to take at Montgomery College and if there are ways to take something similar at Clarksburg.
How do I get the application to apply for the grants?
The application to apply for the grants is not open yet, and I will email that out to you guys when it is open. You can always contact the Montgomery College Dual Enrollment Office, but as soon as I know, I will make sure that you guys know.
There was a request to make sure that we have a Spanish translation. I know we can do that through YouTube, and we can also make sure that we get some of the slides translated as well.
That would be good. I have a couple private questions too. I don't know if people knew that they were messaging me privately, but if you already applied to MC through ACES, you do not have to apply to MC again. You would just use your same M number to go through the dual enroll program. You do have to request all of your classes through dualenroll.com. You just would not have to do the application to MC again. And then, do you have to take a math AccuPlacer or submit SAT scores if you don't want to take a math class at MC? If you don't want to take a math class at MC, you don't have to do the math placement test. No, you don't, but you may change your mind at some point. But if you just want to take English, then no, you don't have to take the math placement test. And then what if you want to go to the university outside of the United States? Would there be a way to know which credits would transfer or if any credits transfer? I would have to say that the likelihood of dual enroll, so the classes that the schools that you would really be thinking of are probably schools in the UK or Western Europe. And they sometimes do take dual enroll credits, but you want to check specifically with each school. The schools in the United Kingdom and Western Europe are also going to really want you to take standardized test scores applications to those schools because it's a little different in Europe. You apply for a specific like major, like a specific school, and they really only care about the classes in that school. So for example, if you wanted to apply to do law for your undergrad, they would really focus on your history and law and politics classes and not so much your math classes. But those are very specific applications. And if you're thinking about like Canada, kind of sometimes a little bit similar, they sometimes will not take dual enroll classes in which you also get high school credit, only if you only got the college credit. And then if you're thinking about schools kind of outside of that, like maybe in India and Asia and that sort of thing, you would really need to check with the school itself. Can you take individual classes at MC while in your junior year? I know that you could in the past, but it wasn't listed as an option for rising juniors. I would want to take English 101 for the fall 2021 semester. No, not so much. We really want juniors to focus on the high school classes. You still need to take a full high school load, which will include English. So we really encourage juniors to focus on maximizing the academic rigor that they have, maximize it with AP classes or other avenues. That way, when you get to senior year, you will be even more prepared for the dual enrollment classes that you choose to take. And then you can kind of level that up so that you're even more prepared for freshman year. But we really like to see a gradual increase in your academic rigor and feel that in your junior year, you still have so much academic rigor to explore at Clarksburg High School that we really want you to take advantage of having that next level up with that teacher support and also that little bit elongated curriculum. And then by when, no, you answered that question. Is it too late for a 10th grader to apply to the early college program? Yes, unfortunately, that happened in the fall. Is taking the SAT an alternative to the placement test? Yes, it can in some circumstances. Is it completely impossible to take individual classes as a junior, or is it just advised against? I'm going to defer to the answer that I just gave on that. Can we get accepted into dual enrollment with only submitting our transcript without SAT scores? Right now, they are not requiring SAT scores, but they would require that placement test, that remote math placement test. So it'd be your transcript and then your placement test and the orientation and the next steps. Yes, it is possible to just take one class. You guys can also submit questions like to everyone if you want, but if you feel more comfortable submitting them just to me, you can do that too.
I'm getting some direct ones as well, but I read you most of those, Ms. Montgomery, so thank you.
You're welcome. If you want to take a science course, you will need to take the math placement if you don't have an SAT score.
And I think it's good to remember as well that on Ms. Montgomery's Canvas page, she posts her office hours. So you can always come and talk to her if you have any follow-up questions.
When do rising juniors apply? So the only thing for juniors is really if you haven't applied to the early college program and you're not in the PTech program, it would be that Biotechnology Pathway. Otherwise, you would be really looking at taking dual enrollment your senior year. Oh, if we don't want to take a math class in the fall, we don't need to submit an AP test score, right? No, so every math class at Montgomery College has a prerequisite. So you would either need to take the remote math placement test. That's really the gold standard here is that math placement test. You want to take that remote math placement test and that'll tell you what math class you can take. If you do have an SAT score on my Canvas page, I have a page that lists some equivalencies. It'll tell you what you need to take in order to get into a certain math class or a certain English class. And if your SAT scores don't quite hit that mark, you can try to take the placement test to get in. Otherwise, you can just take what you would be able to get in otherwise. Ms. Grigsby, how are we doing on questions on your end?
That's it. I've just sent some people my email who have additional questions, and that's it.
Great. I can also put my email again in the chat. When are the the placement tests are on your Montgomery College MyMC account. You can take them anytime. They're remote. There's no fee. It's part of the process. Oh, that was a direct message and not to everyone because I got a direct message while I was typing. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, okay. Ms. Grigsby, can you put my email because I'm getting messaged and I can't actually respond. If I were to take a math and English course for one semester at MC, in order to complete my graduation requirements, what would I do for the second semester of high school? Well, I would definitely recommend talking to your counselor because there's more to graduation than just math and English. There's arts and all sort of things. I think it would really depend on what your goals are. Where are you trying to go to college? because colleges like to see that you didn't just work really hard your junior year and then do nothing your senior year. That will not make them very happy. So you do want to make sure, and you also won't be very prepared, right? If you just kind of take, super easy classes senior year and then you go into a super hard major your freshman year of college, it's going to be like, whoa, you're going to be like, surprised. So you want to be thinking not just what can I do to check the boxes, but what kind of learner do I want to be, right? What do I want for my academic career? And what's going to best prepare me for college? Because high school isn't the end. Even if you're going into the workforce, there's something afterwards. And you always want to be looking at high school as like, how can it push me and propel me off to where I'm supposed to go? So I think there's a lot of courses that you could take your second semester. Is it advisable to, there's a lot of questions about dual enrollment in the 11th grade. The 11th grade is really if you're in PTech or the early college program, which you would need to have applied to your fall in the sophomore year, or the biotechnology program. Otherwise, again, we really stress that 11th grade should try to maximize their academic rigor. And if you have questions about how to maximize your academic rigor, it has been my favorite subject, academic rigor, since I was like in the 11th grade back when you were, which is a long time ago. So I will help you find ways to maximize your academic rigor at Clarksburg High School. There's no shortage. And then once you've done that, then you'll be ready for dual enrollment your 12th grade year. There's a specific question to Mr. Owusu in the chat. And then where
Owusu was a track star when he was in college, right, Mr. Owusu?
That was a long time ago.
Where on the Canvas page? It's actually under it's I will email me and I will show you how to get there. I know how to get there from the back end, but email me and I'll help you. There are financial aid options. There's the grant. Yes, absolutely. The grant application is the way to get financial aid to pay for the courses. How are we doing? Oh, no, there's more. If you want to take English 101, there is no remote English test. So you would need at that point qualifying SAT scores or AP exam scores. If you do not have those SAT scores or exam scores from AP exams, then you would need to take English 101/011, which is the English with support. But because the AccuPlacer is not being held right now, there's no remote English placement test. You can schedule with me on my office hours. The link is in the Zoom classroom. Remote is online, yes. And you need to take the placement test. It's part of the application process, right? So you need to take your assessment tests before you do your orientation, and you need your orientation in order to finish registering for classes. So if you have time, this weekend or early next week, I feel like that would be a good time to take the math placement test.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Montgomery. That was very
Thank
informative.
you guys. I try. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can email me or visit my classroom. I would love to chat with you.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, guys.